I welcome you all students for today's science class. In today's class, we will see the continuation of Unit 6 Health and Hygiene. Topics to be covered: communicable disease, non-communicable disease, safety and first aid. So we will see what is communicable disease, non-communicable disease, and what is safety and first aid. So first of all, what is a disease? A disease is the functional or physical change from a normal state that affects the health of a person by causing disability or discomfort. The following are the conditions that could lead to the development of disease in an individual: infection caused by disease causing microbes, lack of balanced diet, poor lifestyle and unhealthy habits, malfunctioning of one or more body parts or organs. The prevention and treatment of diseases can be considered in two groups for their better understanding. They are communicable disease and non-communicable disease. So what is a communicable disease? Communicable diseases are those diseases that spread from one person to another person. Healthy persons must be protected from people with communicable diseases. Communicable disease spread through contaminated air, water, food or vectors such as insects and other animals. So now we will see the diseases that are caused by bacteria. Communicable diseases like tuberculosis, cholera and typhoid are caused by bacteria. These diseases spread through air, water and some other organisms. So they are communicable diseases. We will see each one in detail. First is tuberculosis. It is also called as TB. This is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis and spreads from one person to another person through air by spitting and prolonged contact with sharing materials of the patient. The symptoms are fever, weight loss, chronic cough, bloody spitting, difficulty in breathing. So tuberculosis is a communicable disease. It is spread from one person to another person through air. So the infected person may spit, right? So from that it spread, and also by sharing the materials of the infected person. And here is the symptoms. Prevention and treatment: BCG vaccination, giving special attention to the patient. The patient must be isolated. And regular medication like DOT. These are the preventive measures for tuberculosis. Next is cholera. It is also a communicable disease. It is caused by Vibrio cholerae and it is spread through the consumption of contaminated water or food. The symptoms of cholera are vomiting, severe diarrhea, cramps in legs. So these are the symptoms of cholera. Prevention and treatment: good hygienic practices such as washing hands before eating should be followed. Avoid eating uncovered food from street vendors. Drink boiled water. Getting vaccination against cholera. And you have to keep your surroundings clean. So these are some of the preventive measures for cholera. Next is typhoid. It is caused by Salmonella typhi. And typhoid spread by contaminated food and water. The person affected with typhoid will have the following symptoms: anorexia, headache, rashes on abdomen, dysentery, and high fever up to 104 degree Fahrenheit. Preventive measures against typhoid: avoid food that is raw or undercooked. Drink only bottled water or water that has been boiled. Thoroughly wash your hands before eating. Avoid raw fruits and vegetables that cannot be peeled. Don't eat foods and beverages purchased from street vendors. Since typhoid spread by contaminated food and water, you have to follow these things in order to prevent typhoid. Next, we will see disease caused by virus. Hepatitis, chickenpox, and rabies. So these are the diseases caused by virus and they are communicable. First is hepatitis. Hepatitis is one of the most dangerous and fatal disease caused by hepatitis virus A, B, C, D, E. Its mode of transmission is through contaminated water, sharing of needles in hospitals, and blood transfusion. Symptoms are loss of appetite, anorexia, vomiting, eyes and urine will turn into yellow color. And its prevention and treatment: drink boiled water, proper cleaning of hands. These are the prevention and treatment for hepatitis. Next is chicken pox. Most of you have got chicken pox, right? So chicken pox is also known as varicella, is a commonly contagious infection caused by the varicella zoster virus. We all know if a person is affected by chicken pox, the other person who takes care of them will also get. So it is a highly contagious infection and it is caused by varicella zoster virus. This disease spread through air and contact with an infected person. So the symptoms are appearance of rashes on the whole body, fever, headache and tiredness. Prevention and treatment: the chickenpox vaccine is the best way to prevent chickenpox. Special attention should be given to the infected person. So these are the ways of prevention. Next is rabies. Rabies is a fatal disease which is transmitted by the bite of the infected dog, rabbit, monkey, cat, etc. The virus present in the saliva of dog will enter the brain via neurons and it causes this disease and it is a fatal disease. It will lead to death. The symptoms are hydrophobia, that is extreme fear for water, and fever for 2 to 12 weeks, and exaggerations in behavior. Prevention and treatment: in early stages, rabies is very difficult to detect. After an animal is bitten, it usually takes 2 to 12 weeks to show any symptoms and it may take as long as 2 years also. Fatality can be prevented by timely vaccination before the onset of symptoms. So this disease is very difficult to detect. As days goes by using the symptoms only we can detect whether the person has rabies or not. So the best preventive measure is to stay away from dog, rabbit, monkey, cat, etc. and we have to vaccinate them. So if we grow dogs or cat in our home, we have to regularly vaccinate them so that we can prevent this disease. We saw what is a communicable disease and under that we saw disease caused by bacteria and disease caused by virus, right? Now we will see what is non-communicable disease. Non-communicable diseases do not spread from one person to another. They are caused by other factors. They are never caused by germs, bacteria, or other living organisms that infect the body. Antibiotics or medicines that fight against germs do not help to cure non communicable disease. Some of the non communicable diseases are problems caused by wearing out of body parts, rheumatism, heart attack, epileptic seizures, stroke, migraine, headache, cataract, and cancer. Problems caused by external harmful agents entering the body, allergies, asthma, poisons, snakebite, cough from smoking, stomach ulcer, alcoholism. Next is problems caused by a lack of trace elements in the body. Anemia, pellagra, night blindness, and xerothalmia, goiter, and hypothyroidism. These are the problems which is caused by the lack of vitamins or minerals or iron present in a body. Problems caused by malnutrition. Nutritious food is needed for a person to grow well, work hard, and stay healthy. Many common sicknesses are caused by malnutrition. So, these are some of the non communicable diseases, and they are caused by wearing of body parts, caused by external harmful agents entering the body, caused by the lack of trace elements in the body, and by malnutrition. So, non communicable diseases do not spread from one person to another. I hope now we all know the difference between communicable and non communicable disease. Now, we will see a specific health problem that occurs in children. In recent days, school going children, especially girls, are affected by anemia. So, as you can see in this picture, a person having anemia will have low count of red blood cells. It will be present in a very small amount. It is caused by eating food with less iron content and can also be caused due to feeding some other food instead of breast milk. Severe anemia in children may lead to hookworm infection, chronic diarrhea, and dysentery. So, the government of Tamil Nadu provides iron folic tablets to all the girls in the schools of the all areas every week so that the children can be protected from anemia. Signs of anemia. The person with anemia will have the following signs: pale or transparent skin, the inner surface of eyelids are pale, white fingernails, pale gums, weakness, and fatigue. In severe cases, face and feet may be swollen, the heartbeat is rapid and with shortness of breath. Children and women who eat mud are usually anemic. Treatment and prevention of anemia. So, morning they must have moringa leaves, dates, liver of sheep and chicken, green leafy vegetables like beans, peas, lentils, and green banana. And they have to get pills like cod liver oil tablet, ferrous sulfate. So, these all will increase the iron content in the body. In order to prevent anemia, proper food and diet should be followed. Next, we will see what is safety and first aid. First aid is the immediate treatment given to the victim of trauma or sudden illness before medical help is made available. First aid is essential for the below reasons. to save the life, to prevent further bleeding, and determine the condition of the patient, to relieve the pain, and to provide a medical care available at the earliest. What is burn? The tissue damage caused by heat, chemical, electricity, sunlight, or nuclear radiation is known as burns. Mostly, burns are caused by scalds, burning fires, flammable liquid, and gases. There are three types of burns according to the degree of burning. First degree burns affect only the outer layer. So our skin has three layers. The first layer is called as epidermis, the second layer is called as dermis, and the last layer is called as hypodermis. So during the first degree burn, it only affects the outer layer called as epidermis of the skin. And in the second degree burns, the damage epidermis and the layer beneath it, that is the layer under it, is dermis. So both layers get damaged in the second degree burn, both epidermis and dermis. In third degree burns involves damage or complete destruction of the skin to its full depth. All the three layers get damaged: epidermis, dermis, and hypodermis, and damage to underlying tissue also. All the three layers and the tissue underneath it will also get damaged during the third degree burns. So people who experience such burns often require skin grafting. Skin grafting means transplantation of the skin. So they will remove the skin from the affected part and they will transplant it with a new skin. First aid for burning. In case of minor burns, the affected area should be washed with cold water and after that antiseptic cream should be applied. But if the burn is very deep, that is, the tissues get destroyed and blisters appear, water should not be used. The burnt area should be covered with a clean non-sticking cloth or bandages. Larger burns need immediate medical attention. It is very important to keep a fire extinguisher readily available. So these are the first aid for burning. Only for minor burn, we have to wash with cold water. For major burns and for severe burns, the water should be avoided. We should not use water. Only we have to use non-sticking cloth or bandages. Next is cuts and scratches. Cuts and scratches are the areas of damage on the surface of the skin. So it just occurs on the surface of the skin. A cut is a line of damage that can go through the skin and into the muscle tissues below, whereas a scratch is surface damage that does not penetrate the lower tissue. So there is a difference between cut and scratch. In cut, the damage can go through the skin and it can go into the muscle tissue also, whereas in scratch the damage occurs only in the outer skin. It does not penetrate into the lower tissue. So that is the difference between cut and scratch. Cuts and scratches may bleed or turn red, become infected, and leave scars. First aid for cuts and scratches. To stop bleeding, we have to elevate the wound above the heart. For minor cuts, the affected area should be washed with cold water and cleaned with an antiseptic liquid. Then an antiseptic cream should be applied on the wound and sterilized bandage should be tied to prevent infection. If the cut is very deep, a clean cotton pad should be placed on the cut and pressed, and the injured person should be taken to a doctor immediately to avoid bleeding. So these are the first aid for cuts. Basic cleanliness and protection. The most important thing is to help anybody, but you must also protect yourself from HIV and other blood-borne diseases. When you help someone who is bleeding, you should wear gloves or a clean plastic bag on your hands. Be careful not to prick yourself with needles or other sharp objects around the person you are helping. So I hope now you know the difference between communicable disease and non-communicable disease and a disease causing agent and the immediate care given to a patient before a medical person arrives, that is the first aid. So with this lesson unit 6 is completed. Now we will do a recap of what we learned. We saw what is a disease. A disease is a functional or physical change from a normal state that affects the health of a person by causing disability or discomfort. So the disease are categorized into communicable disease and non-communicable disease. Communicable disease are those diseases that spread from one person to another. Under that we saw disease caused by bacteria. Tuberculosis, it is caused by Mycobacterium tuberculosis. Then cholera, it is caused by Vibrio cholerae. Typhoid is caused by Salmonella typhi. We also learned the symptoms of all the three diseases and as well as their prevention and treatment. Next is disease caused by virus. Hepatitis, it is caused by hepatitis virus A, B, C, D, E. Chicken pox, it is caused by varicella zoster virus. And rabies, it is caused by the virus present in the saliva of infected dogs, rabbit, monkey, cat, etc. We saw all the symptoms of all these three diseases as well as the prevention and treatment. Non-communicable disease. Non-communicable disease do not spread from one person to another. They are caused due to problems caused by wearing out of body parts, external harmful agents entering the body, caused by lack of trace elements in the body, and caused by malnutrition. Next, we saw first aid and safety. First aid is the immediate treatment given to the victim of trauma or sudden illness before medical help is made available. And first aid is very important as it saves the life, it prevents further bleeding and determines the condition of the patient, it relieves the pain, it provides a medical care available at the earliest. We saw what is burns and what are the first aid that can be given for burns. And also we saw what are cuts and scratches and the first aid that can be given for cuts. So I hope you all understood this lesson. Assignment: give any two communicable diseases which spread in your locality during monsoon. Next is why first aid is essential. And next question, name the mode of transmission of communicable diseases. Thank you.